everyone, it's the Crafty Missy here. This is part 2 of my 3-part tutorial series on how to make magical miniatures. In this part 2, I'm going to show you how you can make a miniature tarot or divination deck of cards. Here you can see one deck that I've made already. It looks a little bit vintage and I wanted to design it this way. It has 3 kinds of images. It has flora. There you can see 2 florals, 2 flowers. It has fauna, that means animals, and it also has some people in there. This is super easy to make. This is great to make for beginners. And remember, if you're not into tarot divination, if you don't want that sort of thing, you can always just use these as playing cards. So let's get started. So the first step is to print out this card deck, and you can find it in 2 different formats, PDF and PNG. PDF you can print out with the free program Adobe Acrobat Reader, and PNGs you can print out with various graphics program. It's an image file. Now I would like to ask you for one thing. I made these cards myself. I spent quite a lot of time designing them. So I would like to ask you to please do not redistribute these online. These are my property, and don't sell them either as an online file or already made out cards. So I'm sure no one will, but I just wanted to put this out there that, you know, this is my work, and I'm the only one who gets to distribute these. But now I'm going to give you a hint in printing these out. When you print out these cards, make sure that you choose either actual size or 100%. This is Adobe Acrobat Reader that you're looking at, and it had fit as a default setting. Now, if you choose fit, the cards will not print the way that I designed them. So always actual size or 100%. None of shrinking, none of fitting, nothing like that. And this also goes for your graphics program where you might print out the PNG. This way the cards will come out the way I designed them and look good. I'm also providing you with a smaller sort of like dollhouse size of these, which you can see here, both formats, PDF and PNG. These ones might be slightly big for dollhouse usage. You can see them here, but I don't know, these could also make miniature paintings for dollhouses this size, but whatever you want to use these for, that's fine. But this one definitely is more of a dollhouse size. Now about printing these, print them on paper that is slightly sturdier than regular printing paper. Now this paper that you can see, by no means it's cardstock. It's not cardstock, but it is slightly sturdier. Now I cut this off of the package of this paper that I'm using to print these. Mine is Canon Red Label Superior, and I think that one there is the important 120 grams per square meter. I don't know grams of what, but I think this is like this denotes the thickness of the paper. So if you wanna get the same paper, here you can see what it is. But this is a perfect thickness, because if you print these on cardstock, I think they will be too bulky to it will not be easy to handle that. Now after you have printed these, you need to cover them somehow. You need to protect them, because if you print with an inkjet printer, and if you then handle them with hands that are even slightly moist, that means that the color will smudge. You can spray a fixative spray on them, some kind of sprayable varnish, or you can do what I did. I'm using glossy accents, and after I had printed them, I just put a dab of glossy accents on each, and remember, I did not cut them out yet. And then with a brush, I just brushed the glossy accents on them, and I also did that on the other side, and as you can see through this paper. So I just put a dab of glossy accents on this side as well and brushed it, and only after that I cut them out. And the glossy accents gives them a slightly glossy look, which I think is okay for cards. but it's not too glossy, which I like. Now, something like this is good to use on these. You can also try this one, crackle accents, which makes the cards crackle a bit, and I think that might make them look really, really old. But whatever you want, but you just should use something to prevent the ink from smudging. Now, if you want to make them look super old, a good way is also, before you put the glossy, you need to cut them out and ink the edges with something like this, like vintage sepia color, something to ink the edges, and only after that put the glossy accents on. So here is one final hint on how to make this deck look gorgeous. As you see here, the edges of my decks are not white, they are golden. And I did that by using this pen, a Zig calligraphy pen in metallic colors. This one is golden, sort of like an antique gold color. So I just went around all the edges, and it really does make the cards look gorgeous. Now, if you do this, do it individually. Don't do it as a deck. It might smudge and not look as good. So just take each card and go around all the 4 edges. So there we go, a miniature tarot or divination deck, or just playing cards, whatever you want to use them for. I hope you have fun with these cards, and thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being a subscriber. Part 3 of this Magickal Miniatures series coming soon. Bye!